You are listening to the Moments of Introspection podcast. I am your host, Dr. Virginia Githiri. I am an entrepreneur, a professor, an integrative wellness coach, and life strategist. It is my hope that you hear something today which will encourage you and help to brighten your world. Have you ever wanted to give up? Let me answer that for you. If you are over the age of 10, the answer is yes. All of us have sensed that quitting was a better scenario than going through the pain of the storm. While there are some circumstances when switching direction, making a different choice, or yes, stopping altogether is the best option, that is not my focus today. Today, I intend to encourage you to hang in there. Don't give up. It sounds like a simple phrase. It might even be numbing to some of you because you've heard it so much. I'm sure that someone is listening to me right now and saying, "Excuse you, ma'am, you have your nerve. You have no idea what I am going through or how crushing the circumstances of my life have been. So why do you feel so empowered to tell me not to give up?" I have discovered that we often give up because we feel ill-equipped to complete the task, or in some instances, to even start the journey. These insecurities are often related to our imaginings of what we think other people might think or perceive of us, what barriers we might face, what successes we might have. But listen, perfection does not exist. So if you are giving up or refusing to begin because you cannot get it perfect, let me offer you some advice. It will never be perfect. What is your barometer? Indeed, if your image of perfection relates to something you have seen in your past, some half-truth someone has told you, something you've seen on TV, and I could go on, that's not perfection. You have no idea how another person's situation came to be or how they are maintaining it. So how can you label what you have seen as perfect and use that as a measure for where you should be? I understand wanting to have a certain standard. We all should, a standard of excellence, but perfection, no. If you peruse social media platforms at any time, you will notice that much of what you see is filtered. Written content and photos. I feel like I want to go on a tangent about photo filtering. Seriously, we all sit in hazy rooms. That's not real. Maybe I'm missing something here. Okay, let me get back to task. Imagine the perfect baby shower or the glittery marriage proposal. The ideal kitchen in your home looks like it should belong in the Architectural Digest magazine. Yet, when we're not taking the filtered photos, for instance, in your kitchen, you'll find shoes, purses, laptops thrown about most days in that same kitchen. Your child is frustrated every other evening when trying to avoid bedtime because they can't find the missing piece to their favorite toy, and it's always under the refrigerator. Now, don't get me wrong. I also enjoy looking at beautiful images of family, friends, houses. I love posting these things myself, places where I travel, yummy, delicious meals that I prepare or that I purchase. And we do that because we all need an escape sometimes. But if you think that someone else's world is much better than your world, just because of what is revealed or what they choose to reveal, you're sadly mistaken. The highlight reels of life merely represent a minute part of life. So remove the word perfection from your vocabulary. I believe that the only perfection that exists, and I don't want to sound too deep or mystical, will not occur until we all close our natural eyes for the final time. In other words, when we transition from this life as we know it. You will want to know a little secret to help you embrace the journey, even the imperfections. You must be willing to fail. Yes, I said it. Be okay with failure. How many of you remember walking for the first time? Well, probably not many of you because you may have been between 8 months and 12 months of age. How about riding a bike or trying to tie your shoe or learning to tie your shoe? You failed several times before you got it right. So, why would the process automatically change in adulthood? The process does not change. There are simply things in life where failures or the requirement to try again has to happen. Allegedly, Colonel Sanders, the creator of the famous finger licking good Kentucky Fried Chicken, was turned down 1,009 times before someone accepted his recipe. You can look it up to verify the story. But did you hear what I just said? 1,009 times. How many of you have been rejected 1,009 times for one singular thing you tried? If Colonel Sanders had given up, and he started this journey at 65 years old, by the way, some of you fried chicken lovers would not be singing the praises of those world famous 11 herbs and spices. I can think of a number of examples of famous individuals who had innumerable failed attempts, rejections, disappointments before finding victory. You must be willing to see your challenges as future opportunities for success. Now, allow me to provide you with some practical tips, which I hope will encourage you to stay the course. Acknowledge your challenges and ask for help. You cannot do everything by yourself. Whether you are a business owner or managing your household and you have multiple children, sometimes you need help. Know when to hire someone to help with a task, or you might need to take a training course to improve your skill set. Or it might help if you enlisted a counselor, a life coach, or a psychotherapist to help you work through some things, to help get you through a rough patch. You deserve to be the best version of yourself, and sometimes you need the support of others. Appreciate where you are right now in your life. I know sometimes the journey to the finish line is slow. Oh my God, it's so slow. But you have no idea what it would take to complete a thing if you stop short, or you won't start because things get hard or they are just simply unfamiliar and possibly a bit scary. Appreciate the moments in the building process. Appreciate the now. This attitude of gratitude will serve you well as you endure the process. Stop the comparison game. Remember the examples that I gave earlier about the filters? Yeah. What appears is often not what is. Say out loud, perfection does not exist. Nonetheless, I will operate in excellence. I'm going to say it again. Perfection does not exist. Nonetheless, I will operate in excellence. Only you know what constitutes excellence for you. You create the standard. If you know you have done your absolute best, have pride in what you've done. If you took some shortcuts or were a little raggedy, do better. We all have specific assignments, specific tasks that we are gifted to do. If any of us, myself included, stops short and exercises our free will to give up, I believe that something in the cycle of humanity breaks. Living your fulfilled purpose requires you to stay the course. When I become weary, I hear my daddy's voice in my ear. Sweetheart, everything will work out as long as you never give up. So friends, do not give up. Thank you so much for listening. Click the subscribe button so you'll know when a new episode becomes available. Please take some time to rate and review this podcast and share the link with as many people as you can. You will impact someone's world when you do.